Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Garage Tune TV. I'm still waiting on a couple of parts for the Lexus to come in, but we need to finish up the brakes on the 240, so we're going to work on that today. The last episode we did the rear brakes, in which we replaced the calipers, rotors, pads, and the soft lines. After taking it around the block, it drove considerably better, but there's still some love needed up front. So today we're going to repeat the same process, but up front. The only real difference is that we're going to be replacing the stock calipers, pads, and rotors with Q45 brakes. So we'll go ahead and run through that with you. After that, I'm probably going to have to order suspension because the suspension is just toasting this thing. I don't really want to modify too much before the winter because I'm going to drive this car all winter long. So I'm not concerned with making it pretty or fixing the rust or slamming it to the ground because that would be useless right now. But if there is something broken, I'm going to spend the money to fix it, and I'm going to put the parts on it that I want to have on it in the end. So if that means I put on coilover before winter, then so be it. Anyway, stick around and we'll be rolling. Okay, so I got the car jacked up. Usually when I jack up the front of a car, if I can, I'll jack it up by the front crossmember. So as you can see, I've got two jack stands down there and the actual jack all on the crossmember. The jack stands, I just put a piece of wood on top. Kind of helps to distribute the load a little bit, but it seems okay. Now here is the horrible grinding noise I heard last night. It's a piece of plastic shroud that's zip tied on in two places. So we'll yank that off here today before we're done. But let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this side with PB blaster or whatever blaster and just let it soak, and I'll take the wheels off the other side. On time I pull up on the scene, they getting sour like a lime. When you look around, you recognize the sound you know you've heard before. I take you to a place you're going with me. So hey now, let's go. Cause every day horizon's getting closer. And everywhere we ride, just let go. Alright, that's been done now on both sides. So much like last time, we're going to start by removing the caliper. Two caliper bolts on top, and then we'll take the caliper mount off the actual wheel hub. Okay, now we're going to do the actual caliper mount with a 19 mil. These Debbie down the clowns lounging around like hounds at dog pounds. They just want out, so they say what they say, so they make their way on your day. But hey, why play their games when all they do is stay and roll over like comb over? So one-sided, the mind divided is a win for the other team. No smoke for dreams, I was a fiend for beats. All right. Well, I mean, they're rusted, but they don't look that bad. There's still plenty of meat left in the pads. That's good. So mistakes, yup, and I'm in. If the price is right, I'll get it in, and there you should know. I'll build a base to take off from. So hold my hand and baby, let's go. So the screws for the caliper don't fit in the holes of this rotor, so I can't use the same trick I use in the rears. So we'll just tap it from behind until it comes up. Wheel bearing seems to move pretty freely. That's good. Now, the other big difference between the front and the rear is since I'm going with the Q45 rotors. Well, here, let me show you. As you can see, they fit, but just barely. They're touching. So you've got to trim off this heat shield on the outside. You could take it off altogether, and since we're running stainless steel lines, it wouldn't be a huge deal. But we're going to leave it on just for extra protection. Okay, got my grinder with a cutoff wheel, safety glasses, and my ear protection. So let's go ahead and cut off the outside of the shroud. Okay, so slight modification of plans. It's really hard to get your grinder down in this area, so I figured I'd cut little fins, bend them back, and then take the grinder on the outside to cut them off. There's really no wrong way to do any of this, as long as you can make it work. Okay, well, off. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the edge now a little bit so it's not a friggin' razor.
Half a thousand in the hood and lady on the right. Feeling like I'm only 2 steps from a goal. Leaning on the pedal, make it go, baby, go. Twice got picked up for fitting your description. Tired of the assumptions and the superstition.
Well, this is kind of annoying, but it's still rubbing right about here. So I'm probably going to have to cut off from here out. I mean, really, I should just take it off, but that means I've got to take off my wheel hub, which I just don't want to do right now. Okay, well, let's cut some more crap off.
They want it louder, they want power, they want everything now, they want power, they want it louder, they want power, they want to get that, they want get back, they want power, they want power, they want everything now, they want power.
Alright, annoyingly, I think you just have to take the whole shroud off. I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but every time I take a bit more off, I find another place it's grinding in, so keep grinding it down.
Not much is better. Breathe one smoky, take another sip. Get it how you feeling, baby? Life is just a trip. Slip down the block and saw the old residents. We used to throw parties. So much
almost there. Starting to sprinkle a bit, so I'm going to see if I can get this shroud finished up before it starts coming down. Let's see.
They want power, they want it louder, they want power, they want everything now, they want power, they want it louder, they want power, they want to get that.
Okay, so essentially what you have to do is grind that shroud down until it's smaller than the interior diameter of this guy. Let's see what else we can get done before the rain comes down.
Bubble up to me, but I'm being smarter with it. Part of being an artist when you start is just to rip. The other part is hard and not wincing at the whip. I wanted to stand back and do the last touch.
Sorry. Now I'm undoing the hard line here with my 10mm box center. A little tip for you, by the way. When you go to take that clip off and you lose your pliers, there we go. Get your pliers in the wide mouth setting like this and grab the clip sideways with the lower teeth. It comes off really easily. Just work it back and forth till it's loose and it'll slide right up.
They want it louder, they want power, they want everything now, they want power, they want it louder, they want power, they want to get that, they want get back.
This is considerably larger than the other one, and this is the wrong side. This is my right side. But man, if you look at the size difference here, it's considerable. Sorry, I'm gonna we don't see that. Here's the old versus new, and this is a single piston, whereas the new is a dual piston. This may have to wait. The rain's starting to come down. I'm gonna get packed up. We'll come back out later. All right. Well, rain's starting to come down. I'm gonna go ahead and button up for now. Everything's in a state where it can sit for a little while. It's not going to hurt anything. But hopefully the rain stops soon. I can come back out and finish up. If not, I guess I'll work on it tomorrow night. That's all for now. Thanks, guys. What's up, folks? We got day 2 of the front brake replacement project. The sun is not shining, but it's not raining, and it's not windy as crap like it was yesterday. So, we got the shroud ground off, so I'm going to work on getting the rotor on, the caliper on, the lines, the pads, finishing up the front driver's side and getting that button back up again. Then we'll head over to the passenger side and do that one. I'm hoping to get all that done tonight, but because I just got off work, it's already about 6 o'clock. It's going to be dark here in about an hour and a half or so, so we'll get as much done as we can before it gets dark and crappy.
Like I'm never running out. Quickly, service so you know it's turning out. Hit me if you can, cause here I stand. Yep, here I am, and I'll be no man. I had to play by play, but I let it.
First, I will detach the caliper from the caliper mounting bracket. And this is a 17 mil socket, by the way. And then a 19 mil to get the caliper bracket on. It's a little bit easier to get a top bolt with a 4 or 5 inch extension. Alright, that's on. You can see that the clips are different from the stock S14 clips, and there are 4 individual clips rather than 2 pair. Just something to note there. But it seems to line up just fine. I would say that if I could magically get like a 32nd of an inch worth of shim in the back of this to push the caliper out just a little bit, it would probably be closer to even. But honestly, right now, I don't think I could actually get a washer in there thin enough to shim it out, so it should be fine. I mean, calipers float for a reason. So, now, let us get the bottom pin of the calipers on. So these AC Delco pads come with these separate shims. Usually the shims are already on the back. Interesting. Okay, well, interesting extra step, but wasn't a big deal. Alright, so back on this side, we're going to get this guy back up into here. This part here clips right in there. And then of course the banjo lands right back there. Like before, the banjo is a 12. And I'm going to set my torque wrench to 14 foot-pounds. Okay. That's torqued down. I really over-torqued the other side of the back, so I hope it's not a huge issue. Now I'm going to tighten down this guy on top again. Alright, snug that down. We're looking pretty good here. I'm going to clean up my mess on this side, and then we'll get ready for the other side. I'm probably not going to have time to finish the other side tonight, but I could probably get the heat shield ground off. So.
pinch, then you react with speed. And I know that if I'm cut, then I am gonna bleed red. I'll be foolish to expect gold instead. I need a couple more dollars for some groceries. I'm still here, nobody knows where they're supposed to be. Yo, we're on course. Hopefully we're gonna find a world that's got an appetite.
Okay, so starting fresh on this side. Again, doesn't look nearly as bad as the rears. I'm sure that this would all wear away if I drove it a little bit. Looks like I've still got some pad left on both. We'll do the same thing just in reverse. We'll get the caliper off from the caliper bracket. We'll loosen up the brake line from the back of the caliper before we remove it, so we can take that off easily. And then pop the 2 clips in the brake line. And then see if we can get the actual rotor off. And that's probably where we'll stop for tonight, because I'm guessing dinner's gonna be ready soon.
What's it gonna be? And I'll stick around for the rest of my life if it feels right. It's always you and me. 1 into 1, it can only be 2. Look what we've been through. So what's it gonna be? And I look around, but you know it's so true that I need you. It's always you and me that lead you. And what about the in-between? There is nothing wrong with the need to change the scene and start clean. The hardest thing to say that it's done, especially when you've had so much fun. But the lights are on and folks are looking at the exits, the doors. My feet are sticking to the floor. Of course, we can skate off now and it will be breezy. But you don't have no reason to believe me. Well, if you talk to me, we can have full discretion. Walking out, go ahead and pick your...
Whew, alright. After taking about 1,000 burning friggin' sparks in my head and my face, we got it ground down. And I fit up the caliper to make sure that it fit inside the inner ring there. In fact, if you look at it from straight on, you can kind of see where it might be high or low. I might grind away a little more down below just to be sure, but it didn't scrape or anything. Let me try one more time. Nope, we're clear all the way around. I've got no reason to not mount the caliper here. I didn't really expect to get to tonight, but let's go for it quick.
1 into 1, it can only be 2. Look what we've been through. So what's it gonna be? And I look around, but you know it's so true, and I need you. It's always you and me. You and me.
Alright, my wife just came out and said it's dinner time, so I'm going to get this caliper screwed in, and that'll probably be all for now. If I decide to come back out again, we'll finish it up. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. But hey, thanks for watching so far, guys. I appreciate it. See ya.
You and me. You and me. You and me. You and me.
What's up, guys? Day 2, I think? Or 3. Day 3 of the front brake install in 240. I'm guessing this is all going to be the same video, but I'm going to recap anyway. It's more for me than you. Yesterday we got the heat shroud cut on the passenger side. We got the old everything off. We got all the new stuff except for the line on. So I'm going to slam that line on a second. Have my wonderful wife come out and help me bleed them a second. Or after that, rather. And then I'll take it for a spin around the block. It should drive pretty well, except for the dead suspension. And I am working on getting a wholesale agreement set up with a company that we used to wholesale with, so that I can purchase that suspension and get it on here. Additionally, once I get it set up, I'll be selling that suspension on our website. So if you guys want to run the same crap that I'm running, you should. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and stick around. Okay, got everything ready. We'll go ahead and start by attaching the brake line to the hard line right up there.
I see the news, they talking sex trade and Skyline. Al-Shabaab on West Bank, killings on the north side. Politicians calling my line. These gangs are smaller, but they still bang. Come up out of school, you get bored and hang. Empty houses every block, they rent and don't care. Swiss cheesing up our city like they want the mice there. And the rats they follow. Summertime, these people act numb, they go dumb.
Okay, got it good and tight. Gonna go inside and have my wife come out and help me bleed them. I'll probably do a video on brake bleeding at some point, but today's not a good day. Once I finish bleeding, we'll go on the block and see how it drives. Alright, just ran inside and grabbed the license plates. So, just gonna jam you right there and we'll see how this goes. Brakes still feel a little soggy. You could probably stand if you bled a bit more. Don't leave your phones on the roof of the car you're trying to drive. It's not a good idea. The guy I work with recently called me on a Sunday or Saturday and said that, hey, I left my laptop on the roof of my car and it fell off the interstate. That was pretty funny. No scraping noise like before, which is good. Pulls a bit to the left. And it burns a bit of oil. And when I brake, there's kind of a vibrating, clacky noise in the front left. It's got to be suspension.
My neighbor stole the copper out his own house and left. So it's sad a couple years. Nobody wants a project. Next door they couldn't sell it, so they stayed. Nothing like feeling stuck to make you feel the weight. Nothing so great about recession. Too much regression, too much aggression, too much of stressing. So may we take the lesson that if it's too much to pay, we only get what we can take, and then we live to go and fight another day. Shovel in the sidewalk to keep it clear for kids to play.
Well, we didn't die. The car stopped when I wanted it to. It bounces like we're going off-road. Well, I guess it did die, but I mean, it didn't leave me stranded. So, next, I'm going to be doing some more basic maintenance. We'll replace the spark plugs, we'll change the oil, we will retime it, make sure it's timed properly. Check the rotor and cap to make sure they're not just totally borked. And then hopefully after that I should have suspension for it. Anyway guys, as always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. If you have any suggestions or comments, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you again the next episode. So.